The Islanders just waiting on everything to shake out. A little bit different this year. Find you a little bit of days with the playoff formats, but we get to the semifinal round. That's okay. We're just waiting to get through round one, right? That's what I'm advantage. You hear it all right here on the fence.
So we go like alphabetically, stop the S, if there was only one S on the page, that would be good. We don't have
All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the May 11th Commissioner Conference. Any unfinished business or correspondence, Karen?
Oh, nothing.
Excellent. All right. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting dated April 27th, 2021 as presented.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Pacini?
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion to approve invoices in the amount of $1,097,511.19 for the period April 28th through May 11th, 2021.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Pacini?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion to approve pending invoices in the amount of $796,845.81.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Pacini?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion that the actual gross payroll in the amount of $273,908.93 be approved for payment for the period April 11th through April 24th, 2021.
So. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Pacini?
Yeah.
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion that the tentative gross payroll in the amount of $274,698 be approved for payment for the period April 25th through May 8th, 2021.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Pacini?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion to approve the transfer of $31,775.66 from the restricted funds to cover COVID-related expenses retroactive to April 27th, 2021.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Pacini? Yes.
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion to appoint Kathy McCabe to the Jefferson County Planting Commission for a 3-year term. Ms. McCabe's term will expire December 31st, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Is she replacing, is there a,
We had a resignation, so we have an open seat.
okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Did we call for a vote on that? Call for a vote?
Mr. Mattson?
Oh, yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Pacini?
Oh, a little screwy there. All right. Motion carries. Next on the agenda, looking for a motion to proclaim the month of May 2021 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Jefferson County.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Pacini?
Yeah.
Motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda, I'd like to welcome Mr. Chris Clark. He has the floor. Mr. Clark, Chris, are you on there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
You can, we'll get your volume all the way up. We can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
We sure can.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there in person. And I will extend Tracy's desire to be there, but he's a little tied up with some health issues at the moment, so he's taking a little bit of a break. What I wanted to do is I wanted to give everybody, the commissioners and so forth, an update on the current COVID-19 conditions for Jefferson County. Just a recap of what's going on over the past year, real quick with numbers. Through the duration of the pandemic so far, now this is coming from the Department of Health, all this information I'm going to give out. So from the Department of Health for Jefferson County, They have listed 1,913 confirmed cases of COVID-19 that, the first one being reported in April of 2020. On top of that, there was 1,336 listed as probable. So what that may have pertained to is people that lived with people that were tested positive, and they're assumed to be positive because of proximity. That total with both confirmed cases and probable cases up to this point in time is 3,249 people in Jefferson County. Again, according to the Department of Health. With the fatality at the mark of 97 as of yesterday, according to the Department of Health. But what it equates to also over the past several days, even couple weeks, the county is averaging 4 new cases per day, which is really, really good numbers compared to where we were just a couple months ago even. And even if you look at that 4, I can't even confirm that that's confirmed cases. You could have probable in that average too. So you could have a total of 2 to 3 new cases a day on average. Currently for the county, the Department of Health is reporting for Jefferson County a 45.9% population has received at least 1 dose of a vaccine for COVID-19. Out of that, 38.1% of our population has received the full dose. So that's either 1 shot of the Johnson & Johnson or both shots of the Moderna or Pfizer vaccine. So those numbers are quite remarkable. Looking early on at the vaccination announcement process a few months ago, there were estimates that we would be lucky to see an average of 30% vaccination rate of adults in the county or even across the Commonwealth. So being that we're topping, we're leaning right now at that 50% of the adult population, that's pretty good numbers for people that want to receive the vaccination. But with these numbers and with the downward trended numbers of infections, which again is amazing, and that there's more safety measures available, people are using hygiene, I think we're very close to nearing a time for return to normalcy for what we can do right now. It's been in the media that the state, whenever we hit Memorial Day, a lot of the restrictions are going to be lifted. I'm not going to sit here and go through each individual thing that's lifted. The state wants to keep the mask mandate in place until a higher percentage of vaccinated people are proven to be done so. So I guess that would be up to the state and what the Department of Health, CDC, et cetera, is recommending. But most of the other restrictions are set to lift on May 31st, which is a wonderful thing. So as it pertains to the county government, the Department of Emergency Services feels that, in conjunction with commissioners and department heads, row officers, et cetera, that some of the county government arrangements could return to normal, such as, the return to normal walk-ins that have been by appointment up till now for the past year, and even face-to-face meetings could reoccur, with the caveat of, safety measures in place and just a little bit of common sense whenever it comes to gathering and meeting and accessing public locations. With that recommendation or light at the end of that tunnel, there may be particular offices, department heads, et cetera, that may require a little bit of extra safety for their individual department. Each county office has distinct circumstances and, individual procedures that they have to, adhere to keep their operations normal or safe. And I'll just drop the jail as one of those examples. It's a facility where it's been known that if you have COVID infections, it can spread very fast. So as an example, the prison may, still operate under more of an enhanced operation whenever it comes to public access, visitation, and so forth. I can't speak for the warden, just using that as a possible example. People with health conditions that are, county employees may may wish for a little bit of extra distance from their constituents and people in their offices, which, it's just a matter of, accepting that and, understanding some people have situations where they need to take it a little more serious than the average person. So moving forward, good hygiene, a little bit of common sense can do a lot to reduce a person's risk to exposure to any communicable disease. You got to remember over the past, several decades, looking back, there's been several epidemics or outbreaks, throughout the world, throughout the United States. We look back at 2009, the H1N1 was that flu season. There were a high number of infections, very sick people from that flu. We've had the AIDS epidemic, body substance isolation. Responders follow that every day on every call with gloves and what they need for safety, because you never know what somebody may have. So again, back to common sense and just a little more attention to hygiene can prove effective for everyday illnesses, let alone COVID-19. So wash your hands, cover your sneezes, coughs. If you're sick, stay at home. Just the simple things that can help keep people safe. But again, that should be going on all the time, no matter what, even where COVID is on effect. So that's my brief update to the commissioners and to anyone partaking in the meeting today. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer anything I can.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. And, we started this thing more than a year ago, 14 months ago. And Tracy and Chris and the whole emergency services team pulled out the pandemic playbook, and we've been operating off that playbook and using the recommendations filtered through that office as it applies to Jefferson County. And I can't tell you what a great job. I can't say enough about the great job that Tracy, Chris, and their team has done for us. We've been mindful of all their recommendations so far. Their recommendation currently is work to return to normalcy on June 1st. After Memorial Day, we're looking to open the county buildings up, where the only thing that will remain in place is the mask mandate for most of our county buildings, with the exception of the jail and 911, all places that are already secure. So we're making progress. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. We don't think so. So great job, Chris. Tracy Zentz, I don't think you're probably not listening to us right now, but get well soon, buddy. And we're moving forward in Jefferson County. You guys have anything you want to?
Thanks, Chris.
All right, appreciate it, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thanks for keeping it short too.
Absolutely, anytime. That's what I get paid to do.
All right, good luck today, Chris. We'll see you.
Hey, thanks much.
All right. Next on the agenda, I'd like our Director of Economic Development, Jamie Lefevre, to give us an update on some of the fundings that are going on, some of the grants.
Wonderful, just now, I can
Sure.
see you line up. Thank you. So the grant that we are working on right now, or is actually closed, is called Sharpens, the Hospitality Industry Replacement Program grant. And the county received $491,847 that will be allocated. That money came to the county, although the decisions had to be made through the CEDO, a Certified Economic Development Organization, which is North Central. And that is part of legislation. It had to go through them. So we worked extensively to receive applications and get those to North Central, who has been actively reviewing these grants to be sure the qualifications. One qualification, the main qualification, is you had to have 25% at least gross reduction in receipts from 2019 to 2020. So if you only lost 23.3, you don't qualify. You had to be 25% or greater in reduction of receipts. So, and it was firm on that, the legislation said that. So there was calculations to go through the paperwork that was provided to North Central to be sure that the calculations came to that. So that was the number one qualification. It had to be 25%, I want to say 25% or greater in reduction in gross receipts. So, because the purpose was to try to reach out to the people who really were hurt the hardest. And, you know, if you still made some money, but maybe you only had 4% loss, that isn't quite as bad as somebody who lost 25%. We've seen up to 60%. So that was the intent, and to get it out to the public. So every county got their allocation in the state, and we've been working through ours. Our businesses who qualified will be notified that they were qualified. If you did not qualify, you will be receiving a letter in the mail. We're hoping to have all of this done by the end of this month, May, either notification that you were awarded or that you did not, so that people aren't sitting waiting. So the commission's been great about getting this money out in the street. We'll be putting $490,000 out on the street to businesses who qualify. And I hope that helps. It won't make them whole, but certainly I hope will help, you know, get through the year and get back to normal, and they can open back up and get back to the way they were. So I appreciate again that the commissioners in the CARES and in this have been wanting to get this money out to businesses, and we made it a priority. So that's what we're working through on that.
And then Jamie, to clarify, every decision that was made on this funding, on who received it and who didn't, was 100% math based. There were no exceptions given to award a grant or deny a grant. It was you either qualified or you didn't.
If
And
you qualified, you get money, and the qualifications were in the legislation, and that was determined by the calculations that North Central used to identify that based on the information and the numbers that the applicant did give us. So it is very black and white.
very black and
It's
white.
very, very, because I even said, is there any wiggle room on that 25%? And they said, absolutely not. It's 25% or greater in lost gross receipts. So absolutely, this is, I think they've all been above board, and what we've been transparent with this one was, there's no wiggle room on this. It is what it is. So anybody who qualifies will receive something.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, Jamie.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. A couple of announcements. The next commissioners' virtual meeting, we got a wrong date on there. What is that?
It would be May 27th.
May 27th. That is the last day of a lot of the schools in the county too, I said. Yeah, so the commissioners' virtual meeting, the next one, then it'll be our last virtual meeting. We'll be moving back to an open meeting in June. May 27th at 10:30 a.m. at Jefferson Place. There is a jail board meeting at 12 o'clock on the 27th as well. And just an announcement, poll workers. We're in search of poll workers are needed for the following areas: Barnett Township, Pine Creek Township, Eldred Township, Winslow Township, or Young Township. If you want to participate in our election process, be a participant in there. We need your help. You do not have to be a resident of those townships to volunteer. If you want to volunteer, call this office, 849-1653. So, yeah, we're looking for some volunteers. Another announcement, the Winslow Township polling location has been moved from the Winslow Township building to the Soldier Community Church located at 762 Reynoldsville-Sykesville Road in Reynoldsville, PA. We do have an economic survey announcement for the Borough of Big Run, the proposed Mitchell Avenue Street Improvement Project. Throughout the next few weeks, Jefferson County, on behalf of the Borough of Big Run, will be conducting a survey of residents living in the Mitchell Avenue area of the Borough of Big Run. This survey is being conducted to obtain information to determine if the borough will be eligible to apply for grant funds to undertake a street improvement project in this section of the borough. All information received from the survey will be kept strictly confidential. Any questions should be directed to the Jefferson County Department of Development at 814-849-3047. So please fill out those surveys. You have to get a certain percentage filled out before you qualify. So please fill those out. It's the only way it's the only way you can really get these grant monies approved for these infrastructure projects. So if you get one, don't throw it away. But we really encourage you to fill it out. Now at this time, I'd like to open the floor to public comments or questions.
Hello, I'm Dennis. I'm back from the Meadow Psychiatric Center, and I want to thank the commissioners for approving the proclamation for Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah, would you like the floor,
I wanna give
Dennis?
you- Well,
All right, there you go. His floor is yours.
okay, anyhow, just want to give you a couple facts of why we're raising the awareness. Just yesterday, there were less than 5 children and adolescent beds in patient care in Pennsylvania. It's not any better today. It probably won't get any better the rest of this month, as April and May are critical times for the system. Also, according to SAMHSA, the need for staff and doctors, nurses, therapists, it's only going to increase over the next couple years. And by 2025, there will be a significant shortage of those providers in psychiatry, in counselors, in therapists, and in nurses. I can tell you at this point right now, nurses are being courted, if you will. They're being offered as much as $20,000 sign-on bonuses and retention bonuses. Locally here, $15,000 at Penn Islands. I believe Clarion Psych is around $10,000. Our hospital is $10,000. So there are significant job opportunities for those who are looking to take those. All the hospitals are under extreme shortages of healthcare workers at this time. Our hospital is operating at 20%. That's roughly 20 beds that can't be used because we have no staff. And the rest of the hospitals throughout the state are in similar straits at this point. So again, thank you to the commissioners for raising that awareness. Hopefully this gets out to the community, and hope this will raise some eyes to people who may want to, eventually get back into the system and do something with their lives. So have a great day, guys.
Hey, thank you very much, Dennis. And I think if you want to enroll in some of these programs, you could do it at IUP, Punxsutawney, BC3, and Jeff Tech. We do have, that's in county. You don't even have to leave the region to enroll in these. And I think over at Clarion University, they have similar programs. So parents, grandparents, even aspire, and anybody that's looking for a career, I don't think that's going to change. I think you can have a wonderful job and a career in healthcare, whether it's healthcare, mental health care, or any derivative.
Well, to go along with that, there is a federal loan forgiveness program that's been around for years, and if you rack up the 100,000 or whatever, good chances are you're going to qualify for it, and especially in Jefferson County as an underserved area. So.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Dennis, for pointing this out to us. And yeah, I mean, there's jobs out there. Just go out and look for some guidance, I guess, if that's the direction you want to take.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis.
Okay, any other public comments at this time? Okay, hearing no further public comments, I'd like to close them. Questions, comments from the press? Hear anything? I don't see anything. All right, looks like we're off the hook, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen. So, looking for a motion that the meeting be adjourned.
So,
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Mr. Mountford.
Yes.
Mr. Bullock. Yes. Second.
yeah.
Motion carries. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.